the obvious question to start on West Brom is Steve Clarke going to be an adequate successor to Roy Hodgson?
Well, I mean, it's a situation that looks a little bit like the England School of Management, where the FA very often take one manager who departs and replace him with something approaching a polar opposite. And I guess you're going from a manager with an incredible depth of experience at the sharp end to someone who's in fact had one game when it comes down to the actual being in charge, selecting the team and sending them out and sitting in the dugout. And that wasn't a game that probably Steve Clarke will want to reflect on too much. He took over briefly from Ruud Gullit at Newcastle, had one match where they lost 5-1, but did reinstate Alan Shearer and Rob Lee into the team at the time, so he wasn't afraid of making bold choices. But I mean, it's just one of those situations where we really don't know what we're going to get from Steve Clarke. His reputation as a coach is very strong. He's worked with some incredibly important players in some very high-pressure positions, but it's been a long education for him in that role, best part of 14 years with some massive clubs. But it's a different story. And is he going to go down the road of a Brian Kidd, a fantastic coach who found it difficult when it came down to actually being the manager? Or is he going to go more down the road of, say, a Chris Hughton, who also had a great reputation for his work as a coach and has taken rather well to the role of being the main man? So it's a big challenge for Steve Clarke. And I think we're about to find out whether his whole coaching career thus far has been leading to this point and this opportunity, or whether it's a step in a direction where it's not going to bring the best out of him.
I mean, in terms of last season, they finished 10th. It was a very solid season for West Brom. But as well as the change at management, there hasn't been a lot of change through the squad. We've got Ben Foster was signed on a permanent deal when he'd been there on loan before, but other than that, the transfer activity isn't particularly inspiring.
West Brom fans probably aren't jumping up and down yet at the new names that have come in, but they might be a little bit concerned to see the likes of Paul Scharner let go, who is an important player for them. But they have got some talent in the squad, and they've got a way of playing that became very effective for them last season. And they played some nice football as well. They were good to watch, West Brom. So it's just really a case of whether Steve Clarke can continue the excellent work done by Roy Hodgson or not.